Hi, Juan.
Hi, Daisy.
How are you?
I'm not bad, thank you.
You what? Uh-huh.
I'm not bad. I said
Yeah.
I'm not bad.
Very good. How was work today?
A little busy.
It was busy.
It was busy, yeah.
Very good. Excellent. But you like when it's busy at work, right?
Not too much.
Oh, not too much. I thought you did like it. You'd said earlier
Yeah.
when it was calm, you didn't like it when it was slow. Hmm.
How you say um, we have been, or ¿cómo se dice? Estamos en una sesión desde la mañana. We
We have
were
been,
in a meeting since the morning.
yeah, we have been in a meeting all
We
morning.
have hemos estado. We have been
Mm-hmm. In a meeting
in a
all
meeting
morning.
on morning. All morning.
Hmm.
We have been in a meeting all morning. Yeah.
Hmm. And was it
And I'm
a
hungry.
boring meeting or a productive meeting?
Productive.
Oh, okay.
Different meetings, actually. Different meetings, actually.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just one long one. It was different meetings.
Yeah, we were in a meeting and I received a different call. I answered that call and um, how you say came back. Regresé a la anterior.
Yeah, it
I
came back. Hmm. You got
came
it.
back to the before from
Uh-huh.
how you say to the previous. I
You returned. You returned to the meeting.
re-
Hmm.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Returned to the meeting, to the first
Very,
meeting.
very good. So instead of this refers to just one meeting. So you could say I have been in meetings, meaning all different types of meetings. I've been in meetings all morning. So
Okay.
that it because if you just said one meeting, that means you were in just the same meeting the whole morning. So if you put an S on it, then that means it refers to multiple meetings or different meetings.
Okay.
Very good. Excellent. And so in Cambly, I've realized one that phrases and things like that, they don't have their own lesson, but in each lesson there is always phrases taught. So for that, if you want to do it through Cambly, we can try a different type of lesson because you have been doing business. That was your topic that you picked, business. Um, but there's all different types of lessons in Cambly, but each lesson has a little bit of phrases, vocabulary, and grammar in them. So it's not just focusing on one point. I have pulled up most common phrases, but then again, it's a situation. So you can have phrases for saying yes, phrases for saying no, phrases for daily use, phrases for work, phrases for trips. So I need to know we can look at some common phrases, but it's best to know like a specific. Do you want phrases for work? Do you want phrases for maybe small talk? Do you want phrases for so yeah, it's like one of those things when you look it up, it's hard to come with just a list of big phrases. You kind of have to be specific on what you want. Have you thought about what type of phrases you would like to learn?
Actually, no. In
Okay.
general, in general. So
Okay, so uh if we
yeah.
started, which one would you most want to learn about?
Okay.
Because it's hard to just get a general. You have to kind of it's I mean, there's probably millions of phrases, right?
Okay.
So it would be easier to focus on a specific theme or topic. Um, but I wanted to see what type of phrases you are interested in learning about.
For example,
Mhm.
if you are in an interview or in a restaurant, mm,
Okay.
buying
Okay.
a car, buying something.
Okay. So we can start with one of those, but it's hard to get all three of those in one list, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
those are three different topics. So we need to pick
Okay.
one topic and then we can go through those phrases. So
Where,
which
where
one?
where is the first choice? Where's the first option in your list?
Oh, I mean, it's in general. There's phrases to say yes, there's phrases to say no, there's phrases for, like you said, restaurant, phrases for business, phrases for, I mean, you could go, there's thousands, right? So
Okay.
when I was trying to look most common phrases, when I was researching that, I had to pick a specific theme. But you didn't give me a specific theme
Mm-hmm.
or topic, so it's a little difficult to, I don't know what you want exactly, so I want to ask you what phrase or which topic you are most interested in phrases for.
Okay.
I'll show you right
Yeah,
now. There's so you I mean, there's millions. So,
yeah. My main goal is to practice my English. So
of
I would
course,
like to improve my or expand
expand. Mhm.
expand my grammar, my vocab.
So that would be best with the lessons. So we've been kind of doing that in the lessons, but I feel like you're not very into the lessons that, or you kind of are, but you always want maybe something else. So I just want to know, we need to kind of like pick a specific theme and then we can
Mm-hmm.
kind of switch. Let me show
Okay.
you. It's really good if you have time this weekend to look through the Cambly library
Okay.
because they have so many lessons. And in there, you can look through and be like, oh, this, I think I need to learn more about this topic or this topic, right? Because when I put common phrases in English, I mean, it's millions. You can think in Spanish, right? That would be
Mm-hmm.
hard to just, if I was like, Juan, teach me all the phrases in Spanish. And it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's not as easy. So it's better to kind of like put them in topics or themes,
Mm-hmm.
and that could make it a little easier to learn them, because in general you're going to come across like millions of phrases, right? So in let me show you Cambly. I don't know if you've ever looked through lessons before here, but they obviously have like kind of games and things like that. But the courses, they have, you would be too high level for basic, but if you want to try maybe the intermediate or advanced conversation, these have a mixture of grammar points, vocabulary, and idioms or phrases as well. And they cover topics such as, here you can see some: cooking, your dream job, sports, animals, social, maybe your favorite or ideal day,
Social
friendships,
sounds interesting. Social.
social activities.
Yeah.
So these are all a lesson, and what I recommend to my students is, it's good to, if you're going to choose maybe one of these lessons, to kind of follow the topics, because they'll kind of connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
um because if we go out of order, one, it's
Okay.
going to be hard to keep track, and two, it's you might learn something from the previous lesson that you can use in the next lesson, if that makes sense. um
Mm-hmm.
but you earlier, so we were doing, so these are conversation topics. We were doing business English. So we were here, we did phone conversations, meetings, negotiations, complaints, and conflicts. And the next topic was going to be job interviews.
Okay, I like that option.
So
Job
you
interview.
want to continue with the business
Yeah,
lessons? Okay,
yeah.
okay. Let's do that then.
Yesterday I learned something in TikTok.
Yesterday, what
Okay,
did you learn?
or please help me with this. Could you explain me
Explain
when
to
can I
me.
use
Mhm.
explain to me when can I use I was and I were, or what is the difference?
You can't say
Different.
I were. That doesn't make sense. So was is the verb to be, and were is the verb to be in past tense. So were you use with they were, we were, you were. Then you use I was, he was, she was.
But can I use I were?
No, you cannot.
Okay. ¿Sabes?
Mhm.
Te lo diré en español. Vi un video, I watched a video on TikTok, and he said, or the TikToker said, you
Mhm.
can use I were when it's an hypothetical
No,
situation.
no,
No, he's wrong.
it doesn't make
He's
sense.
wrong. Sí, por ejemplo, decía podría o algo que no ha sucedido, pero que podría pasar, como I could.
No.
I don't know why.
You could say it if, I guess, if you say if I were to go to this place, yes, I guess you could say it like that, but typically I were does not go together. Mm-mm.
And that
You can
was
say if I were to go
if
to
I were,
the
if I
United
were,
States,
yeah,
I could get a better job. Yeah, you
if I
could say,
were.
but that's a very specific, sentence, but you're not going to say I were in the library. That doesn't, it's not
Okay, not my
correct.
phone. But
Yeah,
can I use if I were?
of course. Yeah. I thought you were just meaning in general. I were. That doesn't work.
For
So, I mean,
example, if you want to say, si yo tuviera 15, estaría en la secundaria. If I were 15,
yeah,
I
if I were 15, I would, do things differently. But it sounds better if I was. You
I
can
was.
technically say that, but it sounds better if I was 15 again,
But I
I
was is in the
would.
past. Es algo que sí pasó, ¿no? It was happened.
Huh?
I
I'm sorry.
was es algo que sí pasó.
Say that again.
Eh, okay. If you use I was, it's something it was happened or is in the
It
past.
had it had
It
happened.
had happened. It had happened in the
Uh-huh.
past. And
Uh-huh.
I were is a hypothetical situation in the past. So,
Hypothetical. Conditional. Uh-huh. So here we have was and were, right? I was, he was, she was, it was. We use were with we, you, they.
look at my eyes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see you when I'm sharing. What? Uh-huh.
Now look at my eyes. I can't see very well because it's a little small, the
Oh,
screen.
okay. You mean make it bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Negative.
Uh-huh. So these are the conjugations. We
Mm-hmm.
can put hypothetical, which is like the conditional.
Usually I use I was and you were, they were, we were.
Mhm.
Mm.
You can't, I mean, he's not completely wrong, like, he can technically say that, but, sometimes it just depends on how it sounds, but, it can sound strange, though. Um, but, that's a very specific, what topic were you listening about, on that TikTok? Huh?
Yeah.
What
How
topic
often?
were you talking about on that TikTok?
Um, specifically talking about uh, I was and where I were. Just that.
Where I was.
I was and I were.
Don't say
No,
where
if
I
I
were.
was.
That sounds
No,
really
no.
bad.
If
Yeah,
I
don't say
was,
that.
if I were and I was.
If I was.
Yesterday,
Mhm.
yesterday I watched a lot of videos. So now in my TikTok, or how you say, aparecen or show TikTok just show me just English videos.
Uh-huh. Like learning English? Just be
Yeah,
careful. Just be careful, because sometimes I don't wanna say he was wrong, but I would just be careful with some of those TikToks, okay? Because it's I can't I don't know. It's just it's I would
podrían
just be
estar mal,
careful. It could
podrían
be
estar
bad.
mal.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Let's see.
Mhm.
English, hold on.
I watch videos from different people, different person. It's not the same
Not the
person.
same. Okay,
Not the
here we
same.
go. Let's look at his this is probably where he pulled it from. Second conditional. So we
Okay.
have if
If
I
I
were
were,
you, if I were you, I would follow his advice. Or if I were
okay.
you, I wouldn't do it that way. Or if I were you, I wouldn't watch some English TikTok educational videos, you know? So this is
No, I watch this kind of video just for practice, actually, not
just for
for
practice.
uh
Okay. So
yeah,
just
because
be mhm.
when they are teaching, they are talking in English.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, they're good, but I would just be
Be careful.
always research, after cuz you don't want to say things incorrectly, right? So if you hear something and you're like, "Oh, I didn't know that existed." I would look it up because I nothing on people doing TikToks. I'm not trying to, but I would just make sure it's correct. Mhm.
Okay, I watch videos with topics like what is the word for when you are making pancakes or hot cakes.
Recipes? Uh-huh.
Yeah, the bowl.
Uh-huh.
And what is the action when you are doing
Mixing,
this mixing? But when you are doing this
beating,
fast,
but
yeah,
it's mixing.
uh-huh.
That can be mixing
So
too. Uh-huh.
this kind of videos I watch.
Yeah, they're
So in common situation, maybe
mhm.
I need, ¿cómo se necesito tirar la basura? I don't know how to say that.
You say that again? Uh-huh.
Okay. Necesito tirar la basura, sacar la basura.
I need to take out the trash?
This kind of phrases, I don't know how to say it.
Okay. Um so those are specific, right? That's to kitchen. So those are kitchen phrases or cleaning phrases. So do you want to learn some kitchen phrases or cleaning phrases?
Ah, for example, I want to say to my children when cuando lo tenga, eh,
So
como
house chore
go
phrases.
go with your
House
mom or drink some water from this glass. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're
Or
saying those right. You just said that
Mhm.
correctly. Uh-huh. I think what you're doing is you are kind of in
Exactly.
panic. You're in panic, and we need to structure it. We need to hone in because it's going to be really difficult if we just keep like. So I suggest, in my opinion, what I would do if I were you, I would follow. Cambly has great lessons, and I would pick a lesson or a topic and I would stick to it and try to do the whole all of the little sub lessons in those, right? Because in all of these little lessons, you're going to learn vocabulary, you're going to learn idioms, you're going to learn a grammar point, you're going to learn phrasal verbs. But it's hard bouncing around because there's no structure. You're not and it might confuse you. So these are set up to give you pieces of little topics, right? But it's in an order where you're learning and you're using each thing that you learned previously in the next lesson. Just like these business lessons, right? These are all typical things you need to know for business English. But it sounds like you want to know more of like house and day-to-day things, not business. Right? Yeah. Or no. Because so you had said you want to do job interviews, which is continuing with business. But what you're telling me is you want to know common like day-to-day house or day-to-day life phrases and verbiage.
Yeah, but you're right. We could continue with job interviews topic. And
Okay.
maybe after in my free time, I can to learn more about common phrases in different moments in my life or
Yeah.
times.
I mean, Cambly has what you're asking for, like the common house things, but you also say you want to do this. So we just need to pick a clear pathway. Are we going to do business or are we going to do like more day-to-day like topics?
You said day to day?
Day to day. Mhm.
Day to day. Day to day.
Day to day topics. Meaning normal things that you do daily. Things
Okay.
you do
A few minutes.
daily.
You said, can my confuse you? I can my no. My confuse you? How is it? Could you repeat that part? Podría confundirte. I can confuse you. I may confuse you. ¿Cómo era?
Um I said that?
Yeah, you said that.
I don't think I said that,
When
but
you were explaining, you said, and si no tenemos una estructura, if we don't have a structure, y agarramos cosas de diferentes lugares, yo podría confundirte. I
it can
might
confuse
confuse
you. It could confuse you.
you. Okay. You said you used may.
It may confuse you or it
It
could
may
confuse
confuse
you.
you.
Those are synonyms. It may confuse you or it could confuse you.
For example, you noticed before that sometimes I don't know how to say something. And mi mente está como, ¿qué digo? What I need
Yeah,
to
but
say.
that's normal. That's normal. I feel like it I think we should pick a path because I feel like you're feeling like you need to have everything right now and that's just not going to happen. That's not realistic, right? You're not going to learn everything in one day, 1 week, even 1 month, even 1 year. It depends, right, on how our brains work. So we need to pick, I think the best decision is to pick
Okay.
a topic or a path that you are interested in and we kind of follow that because it can it's just best to follow like a structure, obviously, especially in class and we have limited time and because if you come into class wanting to learn everything at once, it's just not realistic, right? It's too much, right? So we need to kind of make it smaller and then we can add on to that. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
What is the difference between to pick and to choose? Choose is in the past.
Um, huh?
Choose is in the past.
No, those are synonyms to pick and to
Okay.
choose. But pick can also, like, you're actually physically, I'm gonna pick this one, right?
Okay.
Or I'm gonna choose this one, right? So those are synonyms. Those are
Okay.
you taking something and saying, I want that. Hmm.
Okay.
So those are
Thank you.
synonyms. Pick and choose. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what? So
It was
in the
an
end of all of this
educated doubt.
conversation, let's
A
try
ver,
to focus
okay.
in. And we need to, I feel like you're a little anxious, or your brain is kind of trying
Okay.
to make everything make sense. But with learning a language, it's not so black and white, right? So there's going to be a
Okay.
lot of gray area where you're just not going to know it immediately, but it takes practice, right?
Is it correct? Is
Hmm.
it correct if I say I have a doubt?
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Doubt.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hmm. Otra cosa que vi en TikTok. En lugar de decir, instead of, if you
Uh-huh.
say that, you can say, you just can say, I have a question instead of I have a doubt.
Yeah, those are kind of like similar phrases. Mhm.
But you can use.
Yeah. But just think about it in Spanish. Tengo una duda or tengo una pregunta. Es casi lo mismo, ¿no? Right?
Ajá. Or can I ask you something? Así.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me something. No, yeah. That's
No.
correct. Can I ask you something? Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But with this C1, this is like, I feel like all of the it's a little overwhelming too for me, like,
Sorry.
because I
Sorry.
want to teach you, I want to give you as much information,
Mhm.
but I feel like if we follow clear structure or a clear
Okay.
path, camino, no,
Mhm.
then then things are gonna come more naturally to you,
Okay.
because I don't think if I were to in Spanish just sit there and be like, what's this? What's this? What's it? I'm not going to really remember it because I'm just asking, asking, asking. We need
Okay.
to use it. We need to understand it. We need to read examples about it. I think, or at least for me, that's the best way I learn. So if we put it into some sort of structure, then I feel like you're going to get more out of it than kind of having this wide range of doubts, like you say, or questions. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Mhm.
Because yeah, it's, unless I mean, we can try to do it like this, but it's hard for me to get a lot of material or structure when it's quick and just passing thoughts, right?
Okay. We could continue with our material. We have
Uh,
like job interviews and next. But sometimes can I ask you my thoughts when
of
I
course.
watch videos on TikTok or in different parts?
No, of course that. No, I just remember yesterday we had started a lesson, but then it was like, "Oh, what's this? What's this? What's this?" And it's
Okay.
I don't want to come, or I don't want to be unprepared for you and not have the most best information or concrete answers for you. So that's why I'm like, it's best if we stick to a structure so that we can so that I can give you the most information and you can receive the most
I
information.
like your idea. I like your idea, and I'm agree with that.
Okay, good. Excellent. Well, we already we've wasted most of our time, but that's okay. So we're going to do business.
Okay.
We're going
Yeah.
to stick to
This is
business.
very
And if
important.
Okay, if you feel like the next lesson you've looked through the Cambly library and you're like, actually, I'd like to do these topics, we can change the lesson. But I
Okay.
just feel like Following a
I,
structure is
I
the
want to
best.
follow this
The
material.
structure. Okay,
This
super.
structure.
Excellent. So look at, if you can this weekend, if you have time, look at the Cambly library, okay? See if
Okay.
you might want something that's more information for you, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, Juan, I'll see you next